Hi everyone, it's Lauren and welcome to the second half of my August wrap up. If you'd like to see what I read in the first part of August, then I will link that at the top there and in the description box below. It's been a bit of a slow couple of weeks, I've got to say, for me reading wise, because I've mostly been reading Moby Dick by Herman Melville, which I've not finished yet, and that's a bit of a beast of a book, which I'm reading because it's going to be the next book featured in my Page to Screen series in a month or so, I think that video is going to be up. And it's good. I'm like half really enjoying it and half quite bemused by it, but we'll see how I get on with that one probably in my next wrap-up video. So there's only two books that I actually finished that I can talk about today, and the first one of those is Everyday Sexism by Laura Bates. The Everyday Sexism project has been going since 2012, I think, and it's a website, a blog, and a Twitter project. I first found out about it through its Twitter feed, and it was one of those projects which, for me, was a bit of an awakening and really solidified in me my views on feminism and sexism, because I always obviously believed that men and women should be equal, but this just brought to my attention some instances of sexism which I'd not even thought about before. The idea of the project is that anybody can submit stories either in tweets or in longer sort of essay form of things that have happened to them that they found sexist, either something as small as catcalling to, you know, full-on assault or being fired from your job from getting pregnant, things like that. This book is split into different chapters and it mixes people's anecdotes from the Twitter feed, from the blog, and also some different statistics, and that is interspersed with Laura Bates's own commentary. I think this book would be really great for somebody who is completely new to feminism, because I know that before I started reading books like this, I thought kind of feminist theory might be quite dry and also a little bit too much, and this is something which really eases you into thinking about the world in this way, I guess, or noticing instances of sexism. If you have read a lot of books on sexism and feminism or equality or anything, then this book probably is just going over old ground, but I did still find it a really enjoyable read. One of the comments in here is that somebody said that from the project they felt like it's so many voices, there's so many men and women who are going through the same thing or experiencing the same prejudices, that it makes you feel stronger and it makes you less of a victim, and it makes you recognise that it's just stupid and it's ridiculous and you can, you know, push against it and go above it. And reading this book did make me think that, because it was really interesting hearing all these different really varied experiences. So from that perspective I really enjoyed it, but particularly I think this would be a really good beginning point for somebody just starting out with this kind of literature. And then the other book that I read in the last couple of weeks was Ali Smith's Free Love and Other Stories. This is Ali Smith's first book and it was a Christmas present to me from Jen Campbell, which was very nice. This is a book of short stories which covers topics sort of like finding yourself and falling in love and relationships, and also reaching out to different people, communicating with people. But it kind of goes a little bit beyond that as well, and it looks at lots of different people's interior worlds. What I found really interesting about this is that Ali Smith has a very distinctive writing style, and this is just the beginnings of that style coming through. If I hadn't known it was Ali Smith, I might not have realised that she'd written it. But knowing that, I can really see the themes that she's going to develop in her later writing and the way her writing style is going to go. So from that perspective, I really appreciated this book and I found it interesting. It's not my favourite book that she's written, but I did really enjoy it. And I think that's a bit to be expected with an author's first work when you're so used to reading their later stuff. I do think, sort of again with Everyday Sexism, if you're new to Ali Smith's style, because she is quite, you know, she's got her own voice, like she's really unique. And this probably would be a good way into her writing. I guess if you want to read her chronologically, that would probably help you get into her style a little bit more. So just a short video from me today, because I only have a couple of books to talk about. I never really know how I feel about this format, whether I should do a kind of end of the month wrap up or if I should do a, you know, August part 1, August part 2, because then my reading is just so up and down. But I don't like waiting to the end of the month and then having like 8 books to talk about, because that just gets a bit ridiculous. So I don't know. Maybe I could just do a video sort of every 4 books I read rather than following the calendar months. I mean, I don't know. Let me know what you think anyway, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. This is about 3 generations of the same family and how the actions of older generations kind of ripple down through the years and affect the younger ones. So it sounds really interesting, it comes really highly recommended, and I just love it. I might be in love with this book.